This is a question that somebody asked, and it's to do with cocoa powder. So you might have this at home. This is your normal hot cocoa powder for making things like hot chocolate. Now, someone asked me that I want to make chocolate cake and they asked for cocoa powder. Can I use this instead of the typical, cocoa powder that is designed for baking? The answer is yes. However, drinking chocolate and cocoa powder are not quite the same thing. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients. Hopefully that is clear. So you'll see that this particular brand, it does contain cocoa powder, but it is actually reduced fat. It also contains sugar, glucose syrup, as well as milk ingredients that are made from milk. Okay, so this is, proper cocoa powder designed for baking. And I'll just put a caveat. I have nothing against this brand. It's just what I use at home. It's just to illustrate a point. So let's have a look at the ingredients and see what's in it. So it's got cocoa powder and it's got, acid regulators. That's it. No added sugar, no milk products. The advantage of using this is that you get proper cocoa flavor. You get the chocolatey goodness that you need. So the flavor in your baking is going to be very, very intense because it's mostly or even all cocoa powder. But with this, the cocoa powder is not the main ingredient. It's only 10% of this has cocoa powder. The rest is other things that make it perfect for your hot chocolate. So if you use this in your baking, you are not going to get the depth of flavor that you desire. So yes, you can if you're stretched, but it's not really going to give you that desired cocoa flavor that you're looking for. Although there are some cake recipes that specifically call for this type of chocolate, but again, it is built into the recipe. Also bearing in mind that this has added sugar. So if you're using this in your cake recipe, then it might actually turn out a lot sweeter than you intended, because this has got sugar and you've also got sugar. So you might have to, change the amount of sugar in your recipe. But again, like I say, there's nothing bad in experimenting. However, you've got to be aware that actually your cakes might not turn out the way that you expect. So if you're going to use this, just bear that in mind. But if possible, get you a tin of this. So unless you don't like chocolate cake, you need this. Hopefully that's cleared things up. I hope you find this video useful. If you've got any comments or questions, drop me a line in the comment section, or you can find me on my social media handles. I am on Instagram and Facebook. My handle is @Drmummycakes. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, please. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Happy baking.